Okay, so this video is gonna be to show like which runes you could sell, which runes are good to keep, so you could get an idea. That way you could sell the runes that you don't need and keep the good ones. Because a lot of people don't really know, but even blue runes are pretty good to keep. I could show you like what type of runes those are. So, well, in the meantime, I get some runes from here, so then I could show you which ones to sell. I could show you which ones are good. So I don't have a lot of runes right now. Haven't played the game for a bit, but all right, we'll go with like some of these blue ones so you can see how like even blue ones are good. This one, I probably just grabbed it and I didn't sell it. Honestly, I wouldn't use it because slot 2 for most of the part, if it's violent especially, you're gonna want speed. This game is all about speed, so like slot 2, more than often it's gonna be either speed or it's just gonna be attack because it's gonna be an attacker. But slot 2 is almost never HP, defense, or like some other kind of stats. It's always either speed because you have to go first all the time, or it's gonna be attack for your main attacker that you just want to kill stuff. So this rune, I just sell it. Alright, so this, the only reason I would maybe keep it, maybe like a Rakan or something that's tanky and like you want it to like do a lot of damage, then maybe, because it does have speed substat and stuff, but I honestly wouldn't keep it. Same with this, it's a focus rune and that's like for support and you want them to move first and stuff, so I just would sell. This same, just not speed or attack, sell. Not speed or attack, just sell. This I kept just in case you want to build like some kind of tank that does damage based on HP, just because it has good substats, crit rate, and then it has crit damage, so it could do some decent damage for like a tank damage dealer. Same reason for this, because it has crit rate and it does have speed, so maybe you could use it, but try not to keep too many of those because you're honestly not going to build like 100 tanks. This, I try to keep it to power it up to see if it like roll the triple speed, and then maybe you could be able to use it because it's still a decent amount of speed, but it honestly didn't roll too good, so I'm just going to sell it. Alright, so that's like basically slot 2. I'm not gonna go too much over slot 1 because like it's always gonna be the same stat, attack, flat stack, flat attack. But yeah, so like it depends on the set. So like if you're gonna do Swift, it's most likely gonna be for support, so they go first. So you're just gonna want speed. This one I kept it, I believe, because it has attack and crit damage, and then I maybe could re-app the rune, but honestly, it's not worth re-apping slots 1, 3, and 5 because it's better to use it on something that gives you a percentage. So yeah, I'm just gonna sell it. I don't think I'll use it. But yeah, just whenever you get a rune, you have to kind of like imagine where you would use it. So like say you would get, I don't know, a fatal rune. Like this one, it has crit rate, attack, crit damage, speed. That's really good for a nuker, so you would keep it. Even if I hadn't upgraded, since I saw the substats, I was like, oh, I could use this on an attacker, so I kept it. And you just roll it, and if it rolls good, you could keep it, even if it's blue. Like if it just has like crit damage and crit rate, or has crit rate and attack, like subsets that you could use for an attacker, and it's a fatal rune, well, you would keep it and roll it to see if you get something good. Another thing that would be good on fatal would be like attack and accuracy, because then you could use it on a bomber, or like attack and speed, you could use it on a bomber, stuff like that. So that's like for fatal. But let's say you get I don't know, a vampire rune. This one, it has a decent amount of speed. I still could roll it. It's a +9 yet. So it has speed, it has HP, crit damage, crit rate. It could basically be used for anything. It could be used for an attacker that's on vampire. It could be used on tanky person because it has HP substat. So just always try to keep in mind like what you would use the rune for, and take a look a lot at substats. So that's pretty much for slot 1. You're just gonna want like pretty good stats because the main stats always gonna be the same. Then slot 2 we already been over. Same. Slot 3 is very similar to slot 1. It's always gonna be flat defense. Just have to take a look at the substats. So like this energy rune, I kept it. I believe it's a purple rune. Oh, it's not even. Look, you see, it's a blue rune, and it has a 28% substat. So like, I saw it when I picked it up. It was an energy rune with HP percent substat, so it would be useful for like a tank. So I kept it. You always keep runes that like you could see potential in them and roll them, even if they're blue. Like as long as it has like the substats that you need, just power it up, and you could always like end up with a really good blue rune. That's like, this is basically a purple for me. So that's for energy. We could look at some like trickery runes on like this one. I believe this is a blue as well. Yeah. So you just power them up and see how they roll, because they could end up being some decent runes. So for Swift, you're basically always gonna want to go for speed. As long as you got like any rune that you get that has a 6 substat in speed, always keep it, because you could roll it and get a decent substat. Even if it's blue and it has a 6, you have a chance of rolling a 18, and that's already like decent. With a grind, with a purple one, you could end up with the 22 substat. Speed roll on the subs, and that's really useful. 22 speed is a lot. So yeah, that's basically it. So like if you get a rage rune, you would always be looking for crit damage, crit rate, maybe some speed, stuff like that. So slot 3, that's pretty much it. Just, it's always gonna be flat defense. You're just gonna be looking for something. So this one I kept because I believe it's a legendary rune, or no, not really. Sorry, but I kept it because I saw HP percent and I saw some other decent stats, but it didn't honestly roll too good because it rolled into resistant. But it's still decent, so I may use it like for something, a tank, and then have like decent resistance. But it's alright, I guess. Not too good, but usable. This is one of the newer ones I got. I haven't powered it up yet, but I saw decent potential in it because it has crit damage and HP, so it could roll decent. But again, if you like roll triple resistance or even double, like it's already kind of not a good rune. So I'll power up a rune so you can see how you would kind of deal with them. So right now I'm hoping to get either crit damage or HP. Maybe defense is okay too, I guess, but that was a really low roll. If you didn't know, so defense and HP, the highest they could come with, like as the base, is going to be 8%, and they could roll between 5% and 8. Right now it had a 6% substat, and I rolled a 5, so that's like pretty low. Both of them are on the low side. That's not bad. That crit damage, I may keep it. Could be used for some kind of thing, because it could still roll another roll and maybe get a higher crit damage. This I don't know why I kept. I'll tell you why I wouldn't keep it. It doesn't have speed, it doesn't have HP, it doesn't have any subset that like would benefit a support roll, which is why they use focus runes for support accuracy. So like it's just not a good rune. I would sell it. So that's it for like slot 3. Now we're going to slot 4. So this is basically either just gonna be crit damage, crit rate, or HP. Unless it's a bomber, then attack. But there's not really much you build besides crit damage, crit rate for like attackers, or just HP for supports. That's pretty much it. So let's see. These I've kept like in case I ever like get enough substats and stats from the other rune sets to put it on my Trickery or Chikaru, so like I could do some damage as well. But I honestly don't have the runes good enough for that yet, but maybe in the future, so that's why I kept them. They could be decent. So then for Swift, of course, you see the supports are going to have speed, and then the attackers are going to be on crit damage. I could show you like all these people that do have runes, so it's going to be crit damage, crit damage, crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. And then the way these guys work, since they don't base off crit damage, then you could just build them with attack, like if they were bombers. So that's like the only. It's very rare that you're gonna use something other than crit damage or HP on slot 4. It's very rare. But yeah, so for slot 4, that's basically it. You're just gonna look for crit damage with like crit rate and attack subs and speed for your attackers, or HP with like speed subsets for your supports. That's basically it. Slot 4 is, it's very simple. All right, so now we're moving on to slot 5. Slot 5 is very similar to 1 and 3 because it's the same. It's always just gonna be flat. So you're just gonna be looking for substats. So let's say you want an attacker, you're gonna want crit rate, attack, crit damage, and speed. Those are gonna be the best stats you could get on an attacker because they're all useful for them. Some HP would be nice too if you can, but their priority for nukers are crit rate, crit damage, attack, and speed. Basically it. So now for supports, they're gonna want HP, speed, accuracy, and maybe defense or some other stats that could like benefit them. I just switched that one to crit rate. It's not the best. I believe it's like a blue one, but I didn't have any other better one at the time. But Juno just, she benefits from crit rate, so she could just get more turns from her skill 1 that gives her more attack bar if she crits. So that's why I put that on her. But other supports, you just want HP, speed, and stuff like that. But for attackers, you just want crit rate, speed, attack, crit damage, and then HP is if you can. And that one just has flat. Oh, it's not flat. What's it called? Inert, or like it's just part of the rune. Like it's not able to roll anything. It's just in the rune. But yeah, that's basically for slot 5. You just want substats depending on your character. So now, oh, I have a lot of those. I need to sell them. Alright, maybe we could like sell some so you can see. This, I have no idea where I kept. I probably just like farmed and I forgot to sell the runes after and just hit replay, but this is not good. Doesn't have speed or anything that could benefit your team. Let's see. This, same, I don't know why I kept it. So let's sell that. I have a couple runes that I probably just hit replay or I fell asleep farming. This, I think I kept it because of crit rate. I was trying to build like a revenge bird, but I think I already got better ones, so I could sell this one. But if you're like trying to build a revenge bird, this would be decent. Maybe you could try to fit in some speed later, but crit rate, HP, that's not bad. This I kept because it has a 6 speed, so I'll show you what I mean. Maybe I get it, because I do have a couple runes that are blue and they have 18 speed sub, and then I just put in a... I rolled a 4. I could roll a 16. Nah, I wouldn't keep it, because it's not good enough to keep. If this was like an 18, yeah. Same with this. We'll try one more, and then that's as much as I'll show you about like trying to roll runes. This game is really just gambling. Everything's just RNG based. You have to get RNG to get a good rune to drop, then you have to get good RNG to power it up and get some good rolls. Just RNG. Yeah. So that's about it. Just keep all runes that have 6 speed, because then you could like roll an 18 and it's very useful. But yeah, that's slot 5. Now slot 6. This one's always just gonna be, well, actually there's more options because there's a lot of other stuff that you could get. So in slot 6 you could get HP, defense, accuracy, attack, and the flat ones of course, but you never want to do flat for 2, 4, 6. So always just remember what I said. When you get a rune, try to like imagine and like think who would use that rune for, and just like picture the substats that you could try to roll for. So like this, I kept it because it's HP and it has crit rate and crit damage, maybe for some tank. But honestly, even though it's legendary, since it doesn't have any speed substat, and the rolls are honestly not too good, because crit rate, it could come with 6 and crit damage could come with 7, and those are the only 2 I'm interested in. The other ones are flat, so I honestly would just sell it because it's just not worth the trouble. This I kept because it was HP and it had speed substat, but it didn't roll too well, but it's still usable because it has 12. I could still roll it, maybe get another one, or with the grind it could be like 16. And then it does have crit rate. Resistance is not the best, but it's not the worst either because you could resist like bombs or whatever, something that would benefit your team. Let's see. I could show you the runes that are equipped on my people. So like, Copper, he's a unit that does damage based on defense, and he's like a nuker, but instead of attack, he uses defense. So that's why this rune is on him. It's defense percent. It has decent amount of crit rate, accuracy. He doesn't really need it because he's just there to like kill stuff, but he does have like some stuns and armor breaks, so it's not the worst. Could be better. And the speed is very good. It just needs to be grinded. Alright, this is my Shaman. This is not the best rune, but it's like what I had left over for him. But it would be the same for any case, any other attacker. You just want crit rate, crit damage, maybe some speed if possible. This one doesn't have it in this case. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then for supports, you're just going to want HP and you want speed. And then the other stats are depending. Molong does have a strip and armor breaks and stuff, so I did want some accuracy, so it has that accuracy. This rune could be much better. Speed would like... honestly, I would want anything above 16. Like a double roll or more. Let's see what other supports have. This is Fran. I have her on attack because I didn't have any runes left over. I just ruined her for Tower of Ascension. So I just kind of put whatever on. She does not need crit damage or crit rate. It's just the rune I had left over, so I put this on her. But you would want HP. Some people do attack because her heals are based on attack, but you don't really need to. And you would want her to just be very fast. Like this 6 honestly would be better if it was like a 20 or more. But I was just showing you an example. So another example would be like Lauren. Things like Lauren, you would want high accuracy. Like things that you need them to land their debuffs. You're going to want accuracy on slot 6. Or unless you get like some really, really high accuracy substats. But yeah, that's why you would use accuracy runes on things that you want. Like you need their debuffs to land. Same with like Spectra. Let me see, where's my Spectra? Where is my Spectra? Oh, can't find it. Oh well, whatever. We'll use this guy. My Dark Vampire Lord. I want him to land his second skill, so he gets all the debuffs and Rift Beast. That way my stuff could do a lot more damage, because I have some units that do damage based on like debuffs. So yeah, I would put accuracy like on things that you definitely want them to land their thing. But that's pretty much it. Just things that you want them to land their stuff, like my Melias. You're gonna want accuracy. Supports, they're always more than often they're gonna be HP. Let me see, where's one? Like you're gonna want to have HP or maybe defense, but HP is more common because then you could get like Lucianed. Since they just ignore defense, that defense wouldn't really be useful, and it would be better if they just have more HP. And then if you want an attacker, they're just gonna like need crit damage, crit rate, etc. But that's pretty much it for runes. Just you would build them thinking of like what they're gonna do. So like a support, you're gonna want them very tanky and lots of speed and maybe some accuracy if like they have any debuffs or something. So let's see some of the runes I got. Oh, look at that. Lost battle. So that's the thing about my runes. So my team right now, let me show you. This is my team for Giants B10. I'm sorry, B12. It works 100%, but the runes I have right now are not the runes I use for it to be 100%. I just have these runes right now because I was doing it to get the record in Giants B12, and I need the fight runes for my Lucian to one-shot. But honestly, like I need better runes so that it could be safe. Like on the Melias, I would do Swift or Violent, so it's not wasted because this team doesn't really do damage. All the damage is doing from dots, so like fight runes are not even useful here. I just can't bother to change them right now, but I will eventually. Same with Seth, like he does not need fight runes right now because everything's just all the damage is coming from dots and they don't need fight runes. And my Tatsu, she has blue runes, so that's it's no wonder it's failing. And my Verde, He has leftover Swift runes. They're not even upgraded. But yeah, this team, if you like put him like some decent runes, it'll be 100%. It's just I don't have the mana or time right now, but I will. Let me just show you a quick run so you can see how it works. Right now, I believe it's like 90% safe, just because I haven't changed their runes. But if you like rune them properly, you get a couple shield sets in there, and instead of the useless fight runes I have on right now, it'll be safe. So yeah, first turn they're just supposed to clear it out like that. He's gonna die from dots. And then the mid boss, they're just gonna, as long as they land 5 dots, like 1, 3, 5. Oh no, that's only 4. She missed one of them. The boss would have died, but unfortunately they missed one, so it's okay. And that's why you want the will runes on my tattoo. You saw how the golem froze my team, but that way she doesn't freeze up, and in case she hasn't used the detonate, she could just use it. That was a pretty bad detonate because like there's like no dots, so sometimes that happens. But that's why you have the shield runes, and that's where you're supposed to build them pretty tanky, just in case they mess up like that. They do something they're not supposed to. You'll still live through it, so it should be good. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the team. Just land dots, and then Tattoo detonates it and just ends him. It's pretty fast and efficient. So like right now, 4 dots, that's 5 dots, the boss is dead. There you go, and that's the run. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to show you. This is a very like weird video, but yeah. Alright guys, that was it. Hope you enjoyed, and gives you an idea of what to sell and helps you a bit in the game so you could enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Bye.